You finally did it. After all this time, you bought a freaking MacBook. Yeah, man, you're in the big leagues now. You're not just some regular dude with a gaming laptop anymore. You own a MacBook. A MacBook that literally everyone knows about. When you buy a MacBook, you instantly feel premium. No matter how much people trash talk Apple or MacBooks, you can't deny it. They did something right. Sure, I agree. A MacBook is nowhere near as powerful as a gaming laptops or a custom-built PC. And yeah, for the same price you could get a much stronger gaming setup. But that's not the point. The thing is, when rich or successful people buy MacBooks, it says something. Apple isn't just selling hardware, they are selling an experience, a lifestyle, a brand. That's why a MacBook holds so much weight. I mean, think about it. No one really flexes by saying they bought an Acer Nitro 5, for example. Most people wouldn't even know what that is. But when you say, I bought a MacBook, people automatically treat it differently. You just sound way more legit. A MacBook is a luxury. You don't buy a MacBook because it's the smartest financial choice. You buy it because you can, because you want to treat yourself, because you don't mind spending money on yourself. That's why a lot of rich people buy MacBooks. But at the same time, I know tons of broke dudes who still saved up for a MacBook just to flex, just to show off. Like, look at me, I made it. It's all about the image sometimes. And I gotta say, another big plus for the MacBook is its system. macOS is insanely good. A lot of my friends and even random people online always say it's almost impossible to get a virus on a Mac. macOS is super clean, super smooth. Some people say that Windows stole features from Mac, while others say it's the opposite. Honestly, it's always a battle between the two camps. Hey man, I just bought a MacBook, look. What? A MacBook? How could you buy a MacBook, bro? This thing even can't run Minecraft properly. Okay, here's the thing. The cheapest MacBook starts at around 800 bucks. And you would think, damn, for that much money I'm gonna get a beast of laptop, right? Something that can run anything. Games, heavy workloads, whatever. Well, nope. For that kind of cash you get 8 gigabytes of RAM, блять. Yeah, you heard me. 8 suka gigs in 2025. My laptop that I use for editing when I'm not at home also has 8 gigs. It's absolute hell. Okay. Windows crashes all the time, the laptop freezes, it's absolute nightmare. With that logic, instead of spending $800 on a MacBook, I would have just built a full gaming setup or at least bought a decent gaming laptop. Both of them would have performed much better for the same price. I could have bought everything, activated Windows for a super cheap price, and still spent less than I did on the most powerful MacBook, which to be honest can barely run games properly. Like, imagine you bought a gaming PC or a laptop, but you don't have a Windows because it's expensive as hell. This is where today's sponsors comes in. Case Fun. They offer 100% genuine OEM Windows and Office case at extremely low prices. Yes, I don't need a macOS. Windows is better anyways. For example, you can get Windows 10 Pro for just $9, Windows 11 Pro for just $14, and even Office 2021 for $39. And all of that with the help of my promo code CAR52 for 55% off Windows, CAR62 for 62% off Office or bundle. Click the link in description, or if you want, search Case Fun on Google, search for Windows 11, add it to cart, use my code at checkout and pay with PayPal or a card. Once you buy, the license key comes to your email instantly, and it's a lifetime key. No monthly payments, no stress. Yes, thank you very much. Finally I can afford Windows. Okay, maybe for 1000 bucks you get a killer screen, right? Nope, again. You get a weak 1080p display at just 60 Hz. While for the same money you could snag a gaming laptop with like a 2K screen, 240 Hz refresh rate, and maybe even an RTX 4060 or 4070 if you're lucky and find a good deal. Meanwhile, MacBooks have these weird ass chips that I still don't even understand. Like, we are gamers here. We know about GPUs, CPUs, frame rates, real stuff, but those funky processors inside MacBooks? Yeah bro, that's a black magic to us. Let me tell you a little secret straight up. Let's start with the small things first. I am sure that before buying a MacBook, anyone would first get an iPhone because, well, it's simply cheaper. When you first get an iPhone, everything feels amazing. If you're like me, a former Android user, you buy an iPhone and it just flies. The system feels flawless. No viruses, no lagging, no weird bugs, everything just works perfectly. And look, let's be real, even if you hate Apple for selling overpriced stuff just because of the brand, you have to admit their operating system is next level. I'm not just saying that for no reason. When I first got my iPhone, I started doing mobile videography on the side to make extra money. I am a student, I need the cash, you know, and the mobile videography is actually a pretty big thing in my country. Anyway, after shooting a ton of footage on my iPhone at events, I had to transfer everything over to my Windows PC. And dudes, transferring files from iPhone to Windows, it's like trying to hack the freaking Pentagon. It's pure hell. Sometimes my videos just straight up refuse to transfer. No explanation, nothing. Probably because iOS and the Windows don't exactly love each other. And believe me, here's how it usually goes. You buy an iPhone, you love it. Then you grab some AirPods, then maybe an iPad, and before you know it, boom, you are buying a MacBook you didn't even want. But the Apple ecosystem forces you into it because it just works so damn perfectly.
Nice.
Transferring files between an iPhone and the MacBook or iPad, 1 click, 1 second, done. It's freaking magic, dude. No one else does it like Apple. Now, yeah, I said earlier that MacBooks at $1,000 only have 8 gigs of RAM, and that's straight up ridiculous. But you know what? Somehow they still last forever without even touching the charger. Unlike gaming laptops, where if you unplug for even 5 minutes, performance drops, lag kicks in, battery dies. You always have to be plugged in. But with a MacBook, nah man, it just works. Always, anywhere, anytime. Even with just 8 gigs of RAM, it still feels crazy fast. And that's because Apple designs everything themselves. The processors, the hardware, the software, it's all custom, all optimized. Meanwhile, gaming laptops, Nvidia GPU from here, Intel CPU from there, and the Windows Microsoft slapped on top, you got the idea. MacBooks aren't fast because they are brute forcing everything. They are fast because everything is built to work together perfectly. And honestly, it works. I used to be an Android fanboy too, always trash talking Apple, but bro, you don't even notice how you slowly fall into their trap. Your environment plays a huge role. No matter how much you hate on iPhones or MacBooks, if everyone around you uses them, you're gonna end up using them too. It's just how it is. Everyone in my group has Apple stuff now. And yeah, I fell into the trap too. It's almost impossible to avoid, because at the end of the day, we are all just herd animals, man. And that's the cold truth. That's literally how humans survived and become kings of the food chain. By sticking together, copying each other, evolving together. It's like this. Imagine you are rich. You have two choices. You could buy a regular Toyota, super reliable, cheap parts, gets you from point A to point B without any problems. Or you could buy a Rolls-Royce, a car everyone knows, a car that instantly screams success and achievement. That's exactly how it is in the laptop world. So in the end, it's your choice. Do you want a Toyota, practical, reliable, easy to fix, or do you want a Rolls-Royce, flashy, iconic, screams about your status, but if something goes wrong, you're gonna suffer. MacBooks are like that. They look perfect, they feel premium, but sometimes they just don't give you what you actually need. So ask yourself, do you want to flex or do you want to function? My boy, that's your choice.